Hi guys, Andrew here from East Made Wood Splitters today, and welcome back to Firewood at the Furnace.
Well, I'm sure you can tell from that intro what's going on here today. It's a big day here for us and for the yard and for me, and what an awesome early Christmas surprise. So we're sitting here in the parking lot at my part-time job and waiting on the truck to pull in, and as soon as it gets here, you'll get to see it. This is the truck we're waiting for. So my driver is uncovering the load, taking the sides off here. He says the machine is on this side of the trailer. So here we go. And it is blue and orange and Easton made 1222 is coming to the yard. What a beautiful, beautiful piece of equipment. I am so excited. There's a four-way wedge back there on the back, and we're gonna get this bad boy unloaded. So I'm his fourth and final delivery in the last 2 days since he left Canada. Stand by and wait for this truck to come through. Well, I'll take you over here and show you the four-way wedge that Andrew sent me. It's the tall four-way, which will be awesome for the bigger stuff. So he's got that unstrapped right now. We're gonna lift that off as well. But oh my goodness, what a difference this is gonna make in the yard. I'm gonna tell you a lot more about this whole situation and how this came to be. But before we get into that, I'll just say this up front, that in my mind, before this even happened or we even had discussions about this machine right here was my only choice. What's your name?
Baljit. Baljit Brar.
Bajit?
Baljit. B-A-L-J-E-E-T.
Baljit.
Yeah.
I gotcha. So you make a lot of people happy delivering these things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Trying to see where to lift it from.
From like here
Yeah.
and on the front.
Between the cylinder here? Okay.
There are like a pipes over there, but we should have to be careful.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Watch the hoses. Yeah.
It's a pipe, right?
That's all right. He says it's all mine. So we're going to take our time and make sure we get it in the right spot and lift this thing off. Lift straight up.
Not too much, just bend it back. This way.
Straight up.
Yeah, straight up.
Good.
Okay.
We're good. All right, so now that all the initial excitement and the overwhelming gratefulness has started to settle in here a little bit, let me tell you about this machine. For those of you who don't know, this is the Easton Made 1222. Easton Made is one of the largest, if not the largest, wood splitting companies in North America. I will go into much greater detail about the construction and the quality of these machines coming up here real soon. Because you're going to be seeing a lot of this machine coming up on the channel. But real quick, this is the Easton Made 1222. It's got a 14 horse Vanguard engine. It's got a 4.9 second cycle time with auto cycle, and it's got a 22 gallon per minute 2-stage hydraulic pump on it. You're going to get to see this machine run a good bit here coming up, but let me just tell you, I've run one of these machines before, and it is an absolute beast. This machine came with the tall 4-way wedge, which you saw me load there in the beginning of the video off the back of the trailer, and already hooked up on it now is a 7-way box wedge. This 7-way box wedge is going to make perfect firewood for the size and for the quality of firewood that I need and that my customers like. It's a hydraulically adjustable as far as the height goes for the size of the wood. And with this contraption here, when it pushes the wood forward, it automatically drags it back and drops it in for the next split. It's got the hydraulic log lift, the aluminum outfeed table here on it, and I'm going to start going through some stuff on this machine here. You're going to get to see it for the first time, just like I am, and see what we can find here. Well, one of the first things I'm noticing here is something I want to get to right away. It's strapped to the hydraulic cylinder here. And it is my new favorite hat. Easton Made Wood Splitters hat. So I'm going to put that on right now. All right, there we go. It already fits. I didn't even have to adjust it. But anyway, let me bring you over here. All right, so let me show you a little bit about what's going on here. These are the controls. The first two handles here are for the splitter, the auto cycle. You just pull those two handles forward and the ram automatically cycles forward and backwards. So it's pretty much hands-free. And then the other two levers, this one operates the wedge, which will move the hydraulic wedge up and down based on what size split you want to make. And of course the fourth handle is for the log lift down there to raise and lower those heavy rounds so that you don't have to lift them with your back. I do want to get this thing fired up. It is electric start, and I'm assuming that we'll find the keys inside this tube here. So all the paperwork for the Vanguard engine is right here. And yep, the keys are in the bottom. So here we go. So I've already checked the oil. The key's in the ignition. We'll give it a choke, a little bit of throttle, and start it for the first time. Got an Easton made sticker here too. So we'll let it warm up, and I'll run all the levers here, and you can see the cycle time and make sure everything's working. And I can't wait to get over to the yard to put some wood in it. I just saw something that really made me crack up inside. I'm going to show that to you here in a second. Look at that. This is just a beast of a machine. It's so much different than what I'm used to using. All right, we'll try the log lift up. And we'll move the hydraulic wedge up and down. That is fast. Now let me just show you this over here. We'll shut it off, because this absolutely cracks me up. So if you've been coming along and watching the channel for the past several weeks, you know that I've been having some troubles with my current splitter situation. And this tag says Brad McGurk 1222 tall 4 and box 7. That's the two wedges and Firewood at the furnace. Well, when I was over here looking on this side, I hadn't seen this yet, but it says, if you can read that, Nate Firewood from the furnace. Merry Christmas. I'm telling you what, I'm going from some subpar customer service to absolutely top-notch customer service. Andrew Easton, the owner of the company, has got his hands on everything that he puts his name on. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that here in a second, but I met Andrew in person at Paul Bunyan, at the Paul Bunyan show in Ohio, and got to know him on a more personal level. But everything you see and hear about him and his company, spot on. So now for the question that I know you are all asking and wondering about, and that is, what's going on and how did this come to be? Well, I'm going to be completely upfront and honest with you about the entire story and tell you how this came to be. Several months ago, Kevin from the Skitter Kev YouTube channel, invited me on to one of his live streams. And if you watch his channel, then you know that Andrew Easton is normally a guest on his live streams as well. And so it was all three of us on that live stream. And I had known about Easton Made splitters since the beginning. Easton Made is the big name in wood splitters. There are some other companies that are some competition, but if you do your research and you really look into things, you can quickly discover the difference between some of this equipment. But anyway, I got to talk to Andrew and Kev on that live stream, and really liked the initial vibe that I got. And being a career law enforcement officer, I kind of pride myself a little bit on my first impression of people. I feel like I can get a pretty good gauge of somebody by the initial conversation, the initial way that they respond to questions, or just their demeanor and their behavior in general. And I immediately got a great feeling about Andrew, listening to him talk and the pride that he has in himself, his company, and the product that he produces. So that was really, really strong on my radar right from that point on. Fast forward to the Paul Bunyan show this year, I got to meet him and his crew. And let me tell you something, that crew was probably one of the best groups of people that I've been around in quite a long time. They're a fun group to hang out with. They're down to earth, they're humble, and it really made a good time for me while I was there. I got to stand next to these machines. I got to stand next to other companies' machines. And until you actually put your hands on one of these things and actually get to stand next to one and run one and see it in person, you don't understand what a beast of a piece of equipment this is and how well built and strongly built this machine is. Everything on this is heavy duty. There's nowhere on here that is skimped out on. And that all comes back to the pride that Andrew has in his equipment and the product that he's producing and pushing out to this industry. I did walk around the show and looked at several other companies' machines, and nothing compares to the quality and the heavy duty, well-built machines that Easton Made puts out. So here's the scoop of how this came to be. While we were at the Paul Bunyan show, I kind of pulled Andrew aside and spoke to him, just me and him, explaining to him, what my business was, what my situation was. He was familiar with me and the channel, obviously, from Skidder Kev's live stream. I don't know if he had watched any of the videos or really followed the channel much at that point, but I explained to him what my situation was, and that if and when the time came that his machine was going to be the one that I upgraded to. I talked to him about all the other companies that I had looked at and all the reviews that I had read, and the fact that just standing next to the machines and running one of his machines at Chuck and Deb's up at Iron and Oak Sawmill a few months ago is what really sold me. Not only that, but the company and the way he runs his business as well. So I had a little conversation with him. He reached out to me the following day at Paul Bunyan and said, "Hey, what machine were you interested in?" And I said the 1222 would absolutely be the best option for me as far as what I'm doing, trying to up my production and trying to move my business forward. Andrew's a big believer in the power of YouTube, and he's a big believer in helping people out, and a big believer that this community can gain a lot of information from each other. So he offered this machine to me to use on the channel to try to get word out to other people who might be interested in purchasing a splitter, to watch this thing run, to see the differences that it makes from what I've been running to what this thing is going to do. And it's a win-win for everybody. It's certainly a huge win for me, but I'm extremely humbled and honored that he would do something like this, and it's going to be a huge improvement to the yard. A lot of you have been guessing the past several weeks when I've been trying to overcome the problems with my current splitter, have been guessing that one of these things might be coming. Well, a lot of you have guessed correctly. I am part of Team Orange and Blue now, and I can't wait to get this thing over to the wood yard and run some wood through it. All right, so this video is drawing a little bit long here today, but I wanted you all to kind of experience and get to see everything that I experienced when that truck rolled in, getting it unloaded, getting it unpacked, and just the first few paces with it, getting it running and operating the controls. So I hope you enjoyed that. I want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. I hope you all have a great holidays and spend it with your family and friends. I'm looking forward to the holiday with my family, and I hope you all are too. Also, this coming Thursday, December 29th, will be the Thirsty Thursday live stream. I hope I can see you all there as well. I'm sure we'll have lots to talk about by then. So have your glasses full and be ready to chat. It should be a good time. Take care, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll be splitting on Wednesday.